This is my audience.
Hello. Be honest. We've all heard of the notorious phrase, go touch grass before. Normally, this simple phrase is used to describe people who have been on the internet too long and are starting to get detached from reality. Now, I'm sure we've all been told by our parents to go outside more, but I can personally speak to the effects that touching grass has had on myself and a close family member of mine, my mom. This subject touches a tender spot in my heart because myself, and I'm sure many of you, see the chaos our world is falling into. As the years go by, all we seem to hear is how more and more people, especially adolescents and young adults, are struggling with mental health issues. The fact is, more and more people are being diagnosed with chronic mental health conditions, and as someone who struggles with overthinking and anxiety, I wanted to offer a practical way to help alleviate mental health issues. Three simple ways to help alleviate mental health issues are spending time in nature, doing activities in nature, and improving our relationship with God by being in His creation. Although I knew that being in nature improves mental health, I wanted to go back and interview my mom, Mrs. Felipe, to hear her story and research the science behind why being in nature helps mental health. My first topic is being outside in nature helps improve mental health. As I was interviewing Mrs. Felipe, she was telling me about a time when she was in college and she unfortunately felt very ill. It came to the point where she couldn't eat anymore, which meant that she had no energy and she couldn't go anywhere at all. During this time, she was also unfortunately dealing with mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. However, there is a positive side to this story. Mrs. Felipe was telling me that something that helped her, both with her physical and mental health, was going outside and spending time in nature. She told me that one of her favorite things was to sit outside in her backyard in her lawn chair, reading her Bible as she tried to gain some peace from her afflictions. In general, Mrs. Felipe said that observing nature and nature sounds, such as observing the trees around her, watching the birds, and hearing the birds chirp, as well as sunbathing, greatly improved her mental health, causing her to relax and, and not be in so much pain. Mrs. Felipe also stated that exposure to natural light cannot compare to artificial light because it does not have the same, quote, healing, peaceful effect as natural light. She continues in the interview saying that there's just something special about the sun shining on my face that not only warms my face, but my entire being. She then concluded the interview saying that being in nature helped give her a sense of peace and joy. Some sources that back up the scientific reason on why being in nature helped Mrs. Felipe feel better. The first one is in the article Nurtured by Nature by the American Psychological Association. Wire shows that, quote, these are summarized, this one. Hearing nature noises such as birds chirping, rain falling, crickets chirping, and looking at a form of nature like grass, trees, or flowers can help boost mental well-being, give a sense of purpose and meaning, increase happiness and cognitive function, and decrease mental stress. A second source is an article by a college student by the name Jaemin Kim, and he gathered information from reliable sources on how being in nature improves mental health. And he quotes, and you're in luck because research has found that bird songs can alleviate negative emotions, increase concentration, and heal mental fatigue. Dr. Raymond Hammond, the author of a 2023 study about nature exposure and walking, calls the phenomenon a time-lasting link, as listening to a bird call can bring continued benefits for several hours after the experience. This explains why hearing the birds, Mrs. Felipe felt better. Two more sources that I have are an article from the Mental Health Foundation, based on information from the United Kingdom, discovered that, quote, connecting with nature is also associated with lower levels of poor mental health, including lower depression and anxiety. In fact, our research how connecting with nature benefits our mental health, which is another article they wrote, found that 44% of people said that being close to nature made them feel less anxious or worried. My last source on why being in nature helps improve our mental health is on News 6. Leanne Taylor, a newscaster, interviews Dr. Stacy Chronister, who is an internal medicine specialist with OSU Medicine. In the interview, Dr. Chronister explains that grounding is when you take off your shoes, so you're barefoot, and you step on the grass and you just stay there for a little bit. Dr. Chronister quotes that studies have shown that grounding can have a profound impact on both physical and mental health. Patients who touch real grass have demonstrated decreased anxiety, blood pressure, and inflammation, as well as improved joint pain and even better wound healing. After researching why being in nature improves mental health, I also discovered another factor that helps alleviate mental health conditions: doing outdoor activities. My second topic is doing activities in nature improves mental health. My first point is exercise. A quote from Kevier from The Scientific Benefits of Touching Grass states that in a 2004 study, it was conducted that exercising has been shown to improve mental health in people of all ages, but especially in people with a higher level of anxiety and depression. Not only that, but an article from UC Davis Health has mentioned some fun activities that we can all do outside, such as riding your bicycle, maybe renting a kayak and taking it down the river or the lake nearby, hiking, gardening, and even walking your dog. Lastly, walking, as we mentioned previously before in the last topic. The same source from Kevier, The Scientific Benefits of Touching Grass, continues by saying that another study shows that cortisol levels significantly decrease after a short 15-minute walk in a lush green environment versus an urban area where cortisol levels almost stay the same. Nevertheless, the ultimate reason why being in nature improves our mental health is because we develop our relationship with God. My last topic is being in nature improves our mental health with God, improves our relationship with God, which therefore improves our mental health. 3 verses that I found that relate to this are Romans 1:20, which says, "For the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his internal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so people are without excuse." John 15:5, which reminds us to stay connected to the vine. It says, "I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing." And lastly, Matthew 11:28-29, which says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." I myself can know the benefits of touching grass and being in nature, because whenever I'm stressed or maybe I'm overthinking a problem too much and I go outside and take a short little walk, I look at God's creation, and it not only brings me closer to him, but it also soothes whatever internal stress is happening. And so I can go back to my problem with a clearer mind. Although mental health can be detrimental if not treated, being outside can be used as a natural method to help overcome symptoms. Simply put, mental health is improved by being in nature, doing outdoor activities, and building our relationship with the Lord. God created nature as another way to spend time in fellowship with him. It was always designed to put us toward the one who created us. Just know, whenever you start to become anxious, remember to touch grass. It just might help. These are just an overview of my main points. But thank you for listening.
So after a couple another time.
And here's my audience again.
Hello.
Thank you all for attending.
Thank you.